The clone tool paints with a sample of an image, which you can use to remove image imperfections, paint over objects in your photo, or use for duplicating objects. Now you must set a sampling point on the active layer before you can paint. Now you want to hold down the Alt key while clicking to copy the part of the image that you want to transfer. So I want to copy over the statue here, and notice when I hold the Alt key down that the cursor has changed into the crosshair or the target point. Now this indicates where you are copying. So we're just going to click, then we're going to move our cursor over, and this is where I want the copy data to be applied. So now I can click or click and drag. And that's it. So there's a number of options for the clone tool, and you want to choose a brush type and a brush size from the drop down menus. You want to choose the new way that the colors are going to mix with the colors already here in the mode menu. Opacity will determine the transparency of your copied image when it is reapplied. Flow limits the amount of color that is applied, so it resembles the opacity, except with flow, if your brush passes over the same area repeatedly, it will accumulate to full density or 100%. You can select the airbrush if you want to paint continuously for as long as your mouse button is held down, even if you're not moving the cursor. Aligned will sample pixels continuously. The hot spot will be aligned with your cursor when you paint, even if you release the mouse button. Now, if this is deselected, it will continue to sample pixels from the initial sampling point. Sample all layers will allow you to clone on an empty layer. Now, if you make a mistake, you can delete the whole layer or use the eraser tool to correct them. Now, if you have this deselected, you can only sample from the active layer. Now, you also want to make a note that if you have adjustment layers or layers that have different blend modes that is not the normal blend mode, you may need to turn those layers off when you're cloning. Now, you can always turn them back on when you're finished retouching. It's just if you have them on, sometimes you can get really weird effects when you use the clone tool.